Good morning everybody, this is Mr. T at Hyundai Universal on South Orange Blossom Trail. Let's take a look at the Hyundai Santa Cruz. Happy vacation, Mr. T. Okay.
Hello everybody, my name is Miguel with Universal Hyundai here, and I'm going to be showing you the 2024 Santa Cruz XRT. Now, there's a lot of information on these cars, and luckily enough, Mr. T is nice enough to come to my dealership and allow me to present it to you on his channel. But if you want a little bit more detail in Hyundai in general, all you got to do is find me at Miguel My Car Guy on YouTube. But without further ado, this XRT, one of the funnest cars, lifestyle vehicles here that Hyundai produces in the US. Not only do you have the very nice exterior, it's actually quite practical too, with the 4-foot bed on the rear. Now, being the XRT, you actually do have a lot of good functionality because this is supposed to be the off-road version and something you might actually like if you have an active lifestyle. Now, coming over here, if you look from the front, it is very reminiscent of its cousin, the Hyundai Tucson. And down here, you do have these quad LED headlights with the dark chrome LED daytime running lights that look superb. Actually, let me go ahead and turn those on for you so that way you can kind of see how nice it is. So the daytime running lights really accentuate the front body of the vehicle, and it's absolutely fantastic. Now, if you are going to be using this mostly on the road, it is very safe. It has things like automatic braking, auto lane keep assist, and with this vehicle, this little sensor down here tells me that you have adaptive cruise control. So if you're on the highway, you set it to a certain speed and a slow poke's up in front of you, instead of you having to disengage your cruise control, it'll actually slow itself down until slow poke's out of your way, then it goes back up to the speed you set it at, which is super fun. Now, under the hood, as we say here in the US, you are going to get a 4-cylinder, but with the XRT, you do have the turbocharged 4-cylinder, producing 281 horsepower, which is super fun. And a nice thing with Hyundai is that here in the United States, you do get a powertrain warranty of 10 years or up to 100,000 miles, whichever one comes first for anything under the hood. Now me, I used to work in a warehouse, so my hands weren't always this pretty, and something I appreciate about Hyundai is that when you're actually changing the air filter, you don't have to pop all these little tabs. You lift this up, you unlock it, and then you just pull it straight out. You don't have to worry about getting your hands dirty or paying anybody extra to do that because pretty easily and simple to do it yourself. And like I said, this is a pre-owned car, but one of the checks we do is making sure everything is looking good, even if you can't see it, like that air filter. Now, closing the hood, another great thing, it's not made out of thin tin. Hyundai is actually a metal company in South Korea, and they make a lot of money, actually not even from car sales, it's from metal sales and production. So they're able to include a lot thicker steel and not necessarily charge you for it with that low overhead cost that they don't have to pay, which most other manufacturers do. Now, coming over to the side, another cool thing about the Santa Cruz is that over here, not only do you have those red center caps, but you actually have this practical step. Like I said, this is supposed to be the activity version or the off-road version of the vehicle. So that way, if you want to ease in or ease out with yourself or other people you might be taking along for your adventure, much easier to do that. Something else on the inside, not only do you have the electric driver's seat for anybody who actually needs to adjust it, but you have the Hyundai H-Tex leather interior. So should you happen to spill something or it gets a little wet inside, very easy to clean it up. Now, another great thing for practicality is that this one does have the digital display, which I'll turn on for you right now. I wouldn't say it does anything different than your typical speedometer, but it does look cool, and you can change it from normal to sport mode, and it automatically adapts to that itself, which is super fun. Another great thing, built-in navigation from the vehicle, but you also do have the capability of using Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, depending on your preference. And with dual zone air conditioning, you can cool down one side, warm up the other, so that way on those long road trips, nobody has to fight anymore. And being that this is the one that's pretty practical, you have wireless charger. You put your phone on the wireless charging pad, and after a second or two, it'll kick on and charge your phone, so no need for abundance of cables all around the interior car if you're just trying to charge it up, which is super nice. Now, Coming over here to the rear, you do have the 4-foot bed, and it's lockable. So you can actually put anything you need in there. Yes, I know this is not your F-350 dually Super Duty. That is not the vehicle that this is trying to be. This is trying to be your accomplice. So if you happen to be doing things on the weekend, or if you happen to be doing some home improvements, you won't necessarily need to go to U-Haul and rent a vehicle. You can just throw it in the back of your daily driver and enjoy the rest of your day without having to rely on paying any extra money or relying on things out of your control, because with this, basically, you're in control of whatever it is that you do. Now, if you happen to be a fun-loving person or just need to take a lot of extra cargo with you, under the floor here, you do have extra storage space. So that way, if you're going on a beach vacation, you can fill it up with ice and drinks, or if you're going on an adventure, you can fill it up with ropes or whatever it is else that you need down there. Besides that, being that this is the off-road version, you have storage galore under the floor, in the sides, under the seats. Absolutely amazing. Anything you need to put in this car, this will do its best to accommodate you. And once you actually close this up, as you kind of saw when I first opened it, it is fully lockable. So if you want to make sure nobody can actually access the vehicle, you could actually lock it from the underneath with the little tonneau cover that's included in the vehicle. There you go. Now, something extra with XRT is that these are all going to be all-wheel drive. Like I said, if you need a little bit of extra stability, if you happen to be driving down a snowy road, or if you just want that little bit of extra grip if you happen to be driving down a loose surface road like on gravel or sand, this is going to do its best to help you out. Now, over here you can kind of see in the daytime side that you have a little bit of extra plastic cladding, not just over the wheel arches, but also down the side of the vehicle. Now, I remember when I was doing the certifications for the Kona, they actually call that urban armor. Now, if you happen to be in an urban or non-urban environment, if you happen to be driving through the bush or anything, if something happens to come up and hit the plastic, it's not going to ding the doors as it would in a typical other vehicle that you would see it where you might actually scuff the paint or damage it. So that's a little bit of extra that you get with the XRT because, like I said, it's going to be that little bit more of a rugged version. And of course, being that you like to get into nature, the XRTs are also going to bring a sunroof here on the top, so that way if you need a little bit of extra light, or if you want to record some scenic environments from a higher perspective, that sunroof is going to treat you very, very nicely. But guys, thank you for coming along this time. This has been the 2024 XRT, and my name is Miguel, your car guy here at Universal Hyundai. So anything that you need, make sure you leave some comments, and don't forget to subscribe to Mr. T's channel because he is trying to grow his channel, and I want to wish him the best of luck in all of his endeavors. So thank you guys for coming along, and I'll see you next time.
Just two questions quickly, Miguel. What
Yes,
size wheels do they have?
So this one is going to be the 18-inch rims because it is the XRT. If you happen to go to the Limited, you're going to get, I believe, 19-inch rims, which are a little bit of a different design.
And what about fuel consumption? I know it's not a problem for you people in the USA, but us people in the UK obviously have higher running costs.
Yeah, so this is going to average right about 19 miles per gallon city, about 23, 24 miles per gallon highways. That's usually what the window sticker says when you go to the four-cylinder turbo. But I've noticed that a lot of times Hyundai likes to under-promise and over-deliver on their fuel economies. So you're probably going to expect about a mile or two better between city and highway driving.
Thank you very much for your time, and thanks for your help.
My pleasure.
Much appreciated. This is Mr. T at Universal Hyundai on the South Blossom Trail, Orlando. Thank you very much. I would just like to say a very big thank you to Caesar, the director of Hyundai Universal, and for Miguel for doing a spot-on video of the Hyundai Santa Cruz. Much appreciated, Mr. T.